This is Chapter 1, Section 8 on perimeter, circumference, and area. You can find this on page 59. So, in order to find the perimeter of a square, you would do 4 times the length of one side, or 4s. In order to find the area of a square, you would do the length of one side, or s, squared. For a rectangle with base b and height h, or sometimes you'll see length and width be used as well, the perimeter, 2 times the base plus 2 times the height, or you might see it as 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, or if you want to factor out that 2, you can do that as well. The area of a rectangle is the base times the height, or if we're talking in length and width, length times the width. To find the perimeter of a triangle, you would just add up all of the side lengths. In order to find the area of a triangle, you're doing 1/2 times the base times the height. So we're basically using the rectangle formula, but with that additional 1/2 that you're multiplying. A circle is a little bit different. We don't say the perimeter of a circle, we use the word circumference instead. But the circumference still refers to the length of the outer edge. There are 2 formulas to find circumference, and using either one depends on if you were given the diameter or the radius and asked to find the circumference. If you were given the diameter, you're doing pi times d, or pi times the diameter. If you were given the radius, you would do 2 times pi times the radius. The reason you have to multiply by 2 is 2 times the radius is equal to that one diameter, or the diameter is half, or the radius, is half of the diameter. To find the area of a circle, you're always doing pi times the radius squared. If you were given a diameter and asked to find the area, you would just divide the diameter by 2 in order to find your radius, and then you could find the area. Let's take a look at our first example. It says the Botany Club members are designing a rectangular garden for the courtyard of your school. They plan to place edging on the outside of the path. How much edging material will they need? So we are incorporating an extra 4 feet of edging material all along this garden. So the length of the garden is just 22 feet, but we're adding an additional 4 feet on either side. Okay, so the length of the whole thing now is 4 plus the 22 plus the 4 on the other side, so 30 feet. The width of the garden, same idea. You're adding an additional 4 feet on the left and the right side. So the width of everything, including the edging, would be 4 plus 16 plus 4, or 24 feet. So really here, all we're doing is finding the perimeter of a rectangle with these dimensions, 30 feet by 24 feet. So let's write out the formula for perimeter. Oops. So we're doing 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So the length is 30, so we're doing 2 times 30 plus 2 times the width, or 2 times 24. 2 times 30 is equal to 60. 2 times 24 is equal to 48. 60 plus 48 is equal to 108. So this is telling us that we need 108 feet of edging material. The next few problems deal with circles. You can name a circle with this symbol. It looks like a circle with a dot inside. So for example, this circle here with center A would be written like this, the symbol for circle and a capital A. And you would say it as circle A. So we want to know the circumference of this circle in terms of pi and to the nearest tenth. So in this circle, we were given the diameter. So we're going to use that first formula, C equals pi times D. So instead of D, we're going to write 15. In terms of pi, you're just writing 15 pi. That's your answer in terms of pi. To find the answer to the nearest tenth, you're going to multiply 15 times pi. Now, if your calculator has a pi symbol, a pi button, you can use it. If not, that's okay. You can always use the approximation for pi, which is 3.14. So 15 times 3.14 is equal to the nearest tenth, about 47.1. So the circumference to the nearest tenth would be 47.1 inches. In this circle, we were given the radius. It goes from the center of the circle to an outer edge. So we're going to use that second formula for this one, c equals 2 pi r. So c equals 2 pi times the radius, which is 4. So 2 times 4 is equal to 8. So in terms of pi, our circumference would be 8 pi. To the nearest tenth, we'd have to multiply that out. 8 times 3.14, or just times pi if you have a calculator that will do that. The circumference should be about 25.1, since we're rounding to the nearest tenth. And we are in centimeters. So the circumference of the circle is 25.1 centimeters. So we want to find the perimeter of this triangle in the coordinate plane. And we can use the distance formula in order to find the length of these segments. We do not have to use a distance formula for everything, though. Here's a little bit of a trick. Since this triangle has two sides, one that's a horizontal line and one that's a vertical line, you can just count to see how long it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one has a length of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That one has a length of 8. And we can use the distance formula to find the length of EG. All right. So E is at 3, 6. G is at -3, -2. So I'm going to use E as my x1, y1 values, and G as my x2, y2 values. So x2 minus x1, we have -3 minus 3 squared plus -2 minus 6 squared. So -3 minus 3 is equal to -6 squared. -2 minus 6 is -8 squared. -6 squared is a positive 36. -8 squared is a positive 64. 36 plus 64 is 100. And 100 is a perfect square. The square root of 100 is 10. So that last side length is 10. Okay, so now that we know all three side lengths, we can find the perimeter. We just need to add them all up. So 10 plus 8 plus 6. The perimeter is 24, or 24 units, since they didn't give us like inches or centimeters. We could just say 24 units. One more problem. We're going to find the area of this circle. So, since we're finding the area, we need to use the formula pi times the radius squared. But we were not given the radius of this circle. We were given the diameter. So we have to divide by 2 to find the radius. So we're going to be using 8 as a radius in the formula. So the area of a circle, again, is pi r squared, or pi times 8 squared. 8 squared is 64. So in terms of pi, the area of this circle is 64 pi. So since they asked us to leave it in terms of pi, we don't have to multiply it out. That would be all we have to do. Okay, that is the end of the lesson. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please make sure to let me know.